Hey guys, I'm a little sick still, so um sorry if I miss out some coughs in the edits. I noticed that in the last episode a little bit too late, but that's okay. We're here with another one. Hopefully you guys been having a good week, a good summer. My summer's been pretty nice, but this episode we are going to be talking about space. And it could be figurative, right? Like it could be space. I don't really want to talk about space, like up in the clouds, right? Or beyond the clouds. I'm talking more about like personal space, taking space for yourself, taking care of yourself. Even you could add seclusion to that, right? We all need space at certain times. And for me this week, I've been comparing myself to other people, and it's been a little bit toxic for me. And I had to step back and take a look at myself and what I want for myself. Like, I actually got really upset with something, which maybe I'll share in a later episode, and it made me feel a lot more insignificant than I usually feel about myself. I don't think I look down on myself for the most part, but it's the fact that I started comparing myself to others, and it kind of put my mind in a little bit of a spiral. It wasn't a long spiral, but it was enough to ruin my day to an extent. And I had to use some older tips to get me out of that rut. And then, yeah, so now I'm here. So sometimes we need to take that space, that time to look at ourselves and reflect, right? What is it that's really eating us up when we get really mad about something? We need to take that space for us so that we could clear up the space in our mind to get back on track on whatever we want to be or whatever we have going on. And like for me, it's crazy. Like I've been stressing out and I'm still trying to figure out what's stressing me out to the point where I'm just having a minefield of pimples on my nose. It's insane. I have an asteroid right now, plus the asteroid I'm think it's basically a planet now because I see little bits orbiting. And sorry for the graphic details, but it's it's rough. And I don't 100% know where the core of my stress is from. I don't know if it's my diet. I don't know if it's my workload. I don't know if it's something that's subconsciously eating at me, but it's strange. And I've been doing little things to give myself space, give myself time to think and reflect, right? Sometimes when you are dealing with something that's rough, something that's kind of taking up your space in your mind, right? Living rent free, you need to have that quiet time to yourself so that you can find out what's bothering you. Like when you're in silence, when you're praying, when you're meditating, when you're secluded, when you have a lot of space for yourself, your mind starts to wander, and sometimes it goes within to bring up things that's really actually on your mind subconsciously, which may be work or school or having the constant stimulation from social media is pushing you away from realizing, right? And this isn't a modern problem, right? This has happened in the past, and it's going to continue to happen until we learn to fully control ourselves. But we're human beings. We're not always going to be 100% in tune with ourselves, right? And that's why we need to take the space, right? We make the space, whether it's physically with people, it's space in your mind where it's like, you know what? I'm going to clear out everything that I'm thinking about and focus on nothing. Or I'm going to clear out everything that I'm thinking about and focus on prayer, or focus on the one thing that you've realized that's bothering you and see what you could do, right? Clear out everything else. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to solve this problem, right? Even if you're at work, if you're at school, get out of class, take a few minutes, go to the washroom, air yourself out, right? Like it's summertime. It's a great time to just explore. If you could jog, go jog. If you don't have a car, if you don't have a bike, go jog. If you're not super fit, if you have a problem with one of your body parts, go for a walk, right? You know, if you can't walk, if you're in a wheelchair, go in a wheelchair, right? If you're stuck in bed, hopefully you have like some type of 3D or VR thing, and you go for a virtual walk, like clear your head. Me personally, I like cycling. That helps clear my head, but right now my bike is broken because of somebody. I'm not gonna blast them on the podcast, but when they hear this, they're gonna be like, "Wow, you're really talking about that?" Or you could go cruising if you have a car, a truck. Fuck, if you have a boat, get on the boat. Soon I'll be going fishing, so I might do a fishing podcast episode. Hopefully, maybe some of my friends are interested, and we'll do a guest episode with the boys. That'll probably be 18 plus episode, more as in like there's a lot more swearing. Like every once in a while I might drop one or two curse words, but it depends the environment, right? So that's something that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm looking at my vacation days. I'm looking at how I'm just dealing with work as well, and I'm patiently cutting my weeks through, right? Like in my line of work, we are supposed to plan like 4 weeks ahead, and then based off what you have to try to make sure that you make everything work with whatever happens, right? And when you have a large department, you could have a lot of people missing and you still have to get the job done, right? So you always have to plan accordingly, right? And I've been trying to implement a lot more of things that I focus on work at home, right? But the problem for me, which I'm trying to work on, is my mental space is so caught up with work. By the time I get back from work, I'm mentally exhausted. I don't want to do anything that requires much thinking. And if it's mentally straining at all, I don't want to do it. And it's something that is hard to really fight, right? So even doing a podcast episode it can be mentally straining, because it's like, what am I going to talk about? Am I in the mood to do it? Is it going to be interesting? Oh, wow, I'm not even getting many views, so what's the point? Like, there's so many different thoughts, positive or negative, that's eating up my mind, and to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not going to do an episode. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. Maybe I'll do one when I wake up, and I know I'm not going to do one when I wake up. The chances of that, it's like a 30% chance. Why? Because I just like sleeping, or I'm up at ungodly hours where the sun is coming up, and it's rough, right? And despite all of that, right, everybody has these type of problems, whether it's personal, whether it's with family, whether it's with coworkers. We need to find a space. And it's funny because a lot of people make fun of safe spaces, but safe spaces are really good for you, especially if you're trying to combat something, right? If you're not comfortable talking to people about a certain thing, you're not gonna have a conversation with them, right? Like I talked to one of my coworker, and he said that he thinks a lot of other people in the same role as me are afraid of me, and it's like, you know what? I get it, because I'm very about work when I'm at work, right? And if you have enough negative conversations with me, I'm going to minimize our conversation. So it's just gonna make me seem grumpy, but that's me protecting my space, my mental space, my happy space, while I'm at this job that it pays the bills. Do I enjoy it? For the most part, that's why I'm still there, right? But sometimes you don't want to talk to people, and especially if the conversation's not going anywhere. I'm a person where I like to speak with intent, right? So like, I think I mentioned on the last episode, but I'm gonna mention it again, right? Like one of my friends, he says, "There's no point of jumping on a podcast with you, because it's like having a conversation with you or not tuning into it." I'm like, just tune in, right? Just that's another view. Stop being a hater, right? But it's not hate. It's more like I'd rather just have a genuine conversation with you. So maybe I might have to hot mic it and do my first hot mic podcast episode, and I think that would be pretty hilarious, right? Anyways, We need to prepare our spaces, right? And we have different spaces for different things, right? Like when I'm in a certain work mood, especially at home, I have like my thinking cap, right? And when I put that on, it's I'm really focused. I think I put enough energy into it where it's just like when I put it on, it feels like a magical item, right? And I think it's nice to have certain things like that because is it really doing anything? You'll never know, right? Maybe when you die and you get to the other side, God might tell you if it does or not, right? It's like the placebo effect. And like the placebo effect is so strange, but it's a powerful thing in human history, right? We don't understand why placebos seem to work, but if you put your faith, your mind into something, whether it's true or not, it works. Like chicken noodle soup, scientifically, I believe that it doesn't do anything for you. I think that's correct. You can check and Google it, right? But people will say take some chicken noodle soup, and you'll take some chicken noodle soup, and you'll feel better, right? Wow, it's like magic, right? So being able to set the atmosphere for what you intend is very positive and it's very impactful. It could also be negative, right? So that's why negative self talk, when you're depressed or upset and you stay in your room or you stay wherever you're at and you muddle and you think all of these bad things and you say these bad things about yourself or even like self deprecating jokes. It's like, don't use yourself as a punchline for negativity, right? We have that power in us that we can't explain. We haven't scientifically found out how it works. So why do something negative to bring yourself down, right? Like I have a friend who got Labubus before Labubus blew up, right? They just wanted one and now they're doing pretty well with it. Shout out to Lexi, right? And she's having a killing and sometimes you say something is gonna work out and it works out. So why not put more positive energy out there and make spaces for yourself to progress, right? We have the power to stack on whatever effects that we truly believe in. And I believe in that, right? I'm a person where if I talk about people, they'll show up, right? And it's happened so many times that I believe that it's like a hidden power, right? It's just like if you play any video games or RPGs and it's like you have a special effect. Everybody has their special effect, right? Like my group of friends, we have universe powers and we have all our special effects. And when we join up together, the special effects multiply, right? It's just like prayer. If you're Christian or if you believe in Christianity or if you're not sure, right? Like the Bible says, when there's two or more believers pray, God is present, right? So that's why people go to church. They believe that that's going to happen and then they believe that it helps, right? So that's another version of a safe space where you have a lot of people who gather somewhere because they believe in something or they want to work something out or they need help with something, right? Like I've never been to Alcohol Anonymous or any of that stuff. I know I said that funny, but you know what I'm talking about, AA, or you might not know what I'm talking about and you might need help. So check it out, right? But people go to these groups to get better. And when a lot of people have an intention, right? Sometimes they're gathered in one space. So space isn't always uh, a way where you're getting away from people, right? Needing space. But it's also making a space that is welcoming, that's fruitful, that's positive, right? Like my workplace, we started a garden, and I think I mentioned it in a couple of episodes already, right? But I signed up for the tree planting committee, and I'm in this garden group, and I just love plants, right? And I'm a nature person at times as well too, so it's kind of like why weren't you doing this, right? But when you enter a space, even if it's by accident, sometimes it can be impactful positively or negatively, right? So sometimes it's good to be open for space and make that space so that you can grow and become a better version of you, a version of you that you might have not thought went in that direction, right? You never know what a new hobby could bring, right? And especially with the internet, like micro programming people, sometimes you need to go outside, get a fresh breath of air, right? Like recently I've had friends arguing about stuff that they don't even fucking care about, right? And it's just like you're online so much that you're jumping ship and joining sides on things that you would have never debated on. And like a lot of my friends, we've been debating for years, like pre high school, during high school, post high school, about the craziest things, right? But now it's a lot of the clickbaity stuff that some of it matters, some of it doesn't matter. And it's weird, but I don't know if it's just me being super conscious, or I don't know if I'm also aware or of me doing the same thing, but I've just noticed as I age, a lot of people around me are acting like the silly adults that we kind of teased, right? Like, for example, early AI. I'm not talking about the AI now. The AI now is getting more and more convincing, but you could tell by like the scenes now and everything, or how the script goes, that it's AI, right? But it's getting harder and harder to tell, right? But I've had friends for years, I could say like fucking 7 years, sharing something, and it's like, yo, that's clearly not real. Or people getting into talking cycles that don't really matter, or they're on that get off my lawn shit, or self-deprecating jokes about getting older, right? It's just like, get in shape, you'll age slower. It's facts, right? Don't just join a collective and go ha ha he he, and gain an extra 50 pounds for what, right? Oh, it's because that's just how you are when you're this age. It's like, no, it's the way that you're living, right? Don't put yourself in a space of normalcy when you can be better. And even if you don't want to be better, you want to be kind of average or whatever, you have to think about, how does this benefit me, right? You could be with the crowd, blend in with the crowd, but how much does that help you in your daily life? And do you want to be surrounded with just regular people? Is that the extent of your life's work, right? Or do you want to evolve into something better and pass that on, whether it is through children or through extended family or through friends or knowledge, or even mentoring a person and giving that person a space of trust and growth and support that they may or may not be expecting, right? We're in a world where so much is happening and everything matters to somebody, right? But we can't care about everything and we can't focus on everything. So it's good to make the space for what's good for us, what's good for those around us, and hopefully for those that want to stick with you for a longer period of time. Either way, thank you for joining my space, podcast space, and just checking out these videos. We're gonna keep pumping out more. We're trying to get to 52. I lost count, but I'm gonna keep pumping out more episodes. So hopefully you guys subscribe and check out more episodes in the future. And yeah, just enjoy your summer or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. I have a friend in Australia who's checking out the podcast every once in a while too. So thank you guys, and yeah, let's share this, and hopefully you make some space and add this space to someone else's space. And yeah, space. Later.